Recording in progress.
Jump inside the sub
and buckle on in.
Open your mind,
because it's time to dive into
2, 1.
the deep end.
The deep end.
Welcome to the deep end.
The deep end.
The deep end, bro.
Yeah, brah, deep end.
Deep, man.
Too deep, brah.
Alrighty then. So
Let's do an intro. Sorry, I don't know why I said it.
An intro.
Intro time. Time to do the intro. Intro. I don't know. Our show. I'm so fucking high right now. Jesus Christ. We could do a Broadway episode. La 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 la.
Welcome to episode 23.
23.
23. Oh, we love you, 23.
23. Look at me. I'm high on weed. 23. Anyway, welcome to episode 23, folks. we should do a
yeah. Oh, no, there's no more echo. You know, I've done a lot of reflection on my childhood and stuff pretty recently, and like the dynamics that created, especially me back when I was like really angry and did actually start dabbling in witchcraft for a while and stuff like that before I quit for a long time. And I was thinking back about, it was just a really dark time in my life, and how I did have like a teacher or she wasn't a teacher, she was the principal. But she became the principal the same year that I moved there. So her and her son were new as well. And her son was a couple of years older than me. And he's the one now that has a daughter that plays, she's 1 year younger than Fiona. So last year they were on the same team. And this year they're not. But so I see him around town all the time and has watched his daughter grow up. But I've never seen his mom, who was the principal lady. And I always thought, man, you know, if I ever had the opportunity, I should tell her like how much she meant to me, and how like her kindness and guidance at that time in my life was like so special, and so it meant a lot to me, because it was at a time where I wasn't really getting a lot of support from anywhere around me. Yeah. I was just really angry. Well, I was a white girl that moved to Native American land and didn't understand why I was, you know, the racism and stuff like that. And
yeah,
my teacher was discriminating against me as well. And I was actually able to, I don't know, she just understood and gave me side projects and got me into, I actually designed the whole yearbook for the school that year. She kind of like gave that to me as something to do because I liked taking photos, ironically. So yeah, I saw her tonight and I like totally told her, and I like was all tearing up.
Oh, I love that. That's so cute.
It was so hard. I was like trying not to, but
oh no, I know,
yeah,
right?
It was really cute.
It just comes out. You're like, damn it, these feelings.
And then the lady she was sitting next to, she's like, "You're gonna make me cry."
Oh my God, that's so cute.
But I'm really glad I got the opportunity to tell her that, you know?
Yeah, that's awesome.
She works in like social services now, but you know, people that work in the school system, they don't see kids ever again after, you know, or they see kids and they never know what they're going to think or say, you know? And so I think it was really good for her to hear that. Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, that is cool. That's really cool. I know a lot of the people that made an impact in my life, like they're all in Utah. Like some of my educators growing up, there were some good ones. I'm like, I can't think of any off the top of my head. I'm so high right now. I went to, it was the Relief Society meeting tonight, and it was a game night. We played all these old school style games. Like they did Family Feud. What was the first? Oh yeah, it was like Jeopardy, and then they played Hollywood Squares. I actually won that the Hollywood Squares one. And it was funny because the first question was, what was the biggest planet in our solar system? I'm like, well, it's Jupiter, and my mom's like, Mercury. And I was like, Mom, I'm a professional astrologer. But I was like, you're lying.
Were you on a team together or were you individual?
No, they had all these women go up and because Hollywood Squares, like there's 9 people and you're in a tic-tac-toe formation and there's 2 players and like they're playing against each other and they're trying to make a tic-tac-toe. And so you select a person and then they ask a question. Like there's a host that asks a question to one of the Hollywood Square people and they give an answer and then you have to determine if the answer they gave is correct or not. And so I got a couple wrong because it sounded legit. Oh yeah, the one of them, it was so fucking funny. The lady, she's like, who's the actress that played in Gone with the Wind? And she's like, Scarlett O'Hara. And I was like, yeah, totally Scarlett O'Hara. And they were like, no, that's the character. And so then she goes, the actress that played Scarlett O'Hara. And I was like, true. It was funny. They're like, no, it doesn't count. We need her name. It was fucking funny.
You should have been like, yeah, dude, as soon as I get home, I'm smoking a fat joint. See what she said, like say it all like hella straight face.
I would if I didn't make such an exit because I couldn't stay for the rest of that I won my round and then I had to go and it was like 8:30. I wanted to put Squish to bed and get ready to record, and I was like, yeah, I gotta go because my mom knew, and she was like, okay, I'll see you later. And I was like, I gotta go record my podcast. She's like, you have a podcast? And I was like, yeah. I was like, you guys wouldn't like it. I was like, we talk about aliens and ascension and astrology. There's no way I could have said I'd smoke a fat joint. My mom would be so pissed at me. Oh my God. All the women, no. Those women love me and like I love them. Like I really love going to these Relief Society things. They're so much fun. I don't know. I've tried to find like a sisterhood and literally the best, like I have that with these women. There's like, and a lot of them, I can't even remember their fucking names, but like, they're so like this one chick, she's so cool and she lives in my neighborhood and, we were just sitting there the whole time. She's kind of soft spoken, but she's funny. Like her and I were like, bada bing, bada boom off each other. It was really funny.
Travis said he wants to be a guest on our podcast.
That would be so awesome. But he has to go.
She said that's a good idea.
He has to go under. That's how he's a guest. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, we could talk about music. Fuck yes.
We could talk about your psychic abilities, honey.
Think right now.
That you want me to go in the room and go away?
Get on in there.
Whatever. Just for the yeah. I told you. I fucking saw that clairvoyantly. Oh my God. He has a giant mirror leaning up on top of these mattresses right on the back of the couch. And I saw in my head him lean back and hit it. And I said, be careful. There's a mirror back there. You're going to hit your head. He goes, oh, no, I'll be okay. And then he just fucking talked shit to me. And then whacked his head so hard. So hard. I heard that shit,
That's
honey.
what you get.
Are you bleeding?
That's what you get, son.
Yeah, he always gets instant karma when he talks shit to me.
Oh.
Yeah, you're going to have a knot, but I don't see any blood. Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Oh, ask Travis if we need to call a ambulance.
You can't go to sleep now for 2 hours to make sure you don't have a concussion.
Are you okay, Travis? You don't want a concussion. With the little concussion, Travis.
He did hit that shit fucking hard, and it was the corner of a mirror.
Okay, sorry. I'll take it back.
I heard it. He didn't hit it hard enough to knock it off the thing, though, so...
I'm picturing like one of those cheap Walmart fucking...
No, it's this hella huge ass Budweiser mirror.
Now I feel like
that's like
an ass.
3 or 4 feet long and 2 or 3 feet wide.
Well, now I feel like an ass, but it was still kind of funny.
I walked by and I saw it happen and I warned him. That's
You
what you
did.
get for not listening to me.
Always listen to your wife.
See, if I warn you next time I see that you're going to get hit in the head with a fucking mirror, then I'll
And
just
then
let
you're
it
gonna have a
happen
little
next time.
bump on your head.
I totally heard that shit too.
He is a guest on our podcast now. This is our guest. This is our Travis segment.
No, that shit happens all the time. Like he'll talk shit to me and then go to walk out the room and like totally slam into the wall. And I'll be like, yeah, wall's got my back.
I can explain that astrologically.
That would be awesome. If I
Well,
could like do it intentionally. It never happens intentionally.
no, it's not intentional. It's because it's the Saturnian energy. It's because the Capricorn, when you have heavy Capricorn, if you have sun, moon, or rising, or if you have heavy Capricorn energy in your chart, you're considered Saturnian. And that means like when people fuck with you, like they will get karma. But there's a caveat. You also are held to the same standard. You can't go around fucking with people because you will get it.
Yeah.
And so you got to watch what you do, but you also got to watch, like people got to watch out for you because, Daddy Saturn's on their side, And the reason for this is because, Saturn rules karma. So which is cool because I have that fucking eighth house stellium. So it's all in the same degree. I didn't even know there's like this what is it? It's like this, I can't remember what site I found it on, but they identify like what your dominant planets are, and mine was Saturn. I was like, oh, it's cool. But it's actually cool having Saturn because it's like a really hard life, but like in some way or another. But after your Saturn return, things start getting better for you. I don't know. After my nodal return was when shit started to turn around for me. But...
Yeah, so I wonder what my dominant planets are because that was that show that I was telling you about.
Oh yeah, right. The
show
crystals. Yes,
was
I know.
about wearing the crystals based on your dominant planets.
Because isn't amethyst has to do because I was told to wear an amethyst on my Saturn, which is your thumb, I believe, is your Saturn finger. I can't remember. I got to look at my palm, whatever chart. But like it was some Vedic astrologer because I was like, what crystals and like what can I wear to like increase this and this and this and whatever. And it was like wear this on Saturday, which is Saturn Day. And yeah, like all that shit. I'm so high right now. Fuck.
I wouldn't be able to keep track of that.
I can't even tell you. I can't remember. So I really can't either. I couldn't keep track of shit. But yeah, I need to watch that crystals. In fact, let me Google real quick, what is your dominant planet? How do you spell dominant? Man, having autocorrect really fucks me up now because I used to be a good speller and now I just rely on stuff to spell it for me. And now when I'm like actually writing stuff, I'm like, oh, it's like there's no autocorrect. It's like I have to
you only have to write the first three letters and it just appears, right?
Yeah, because I can never do the E-I-I-E. I could never do that order right.
Yeah.
And I think it's because my last name is an I-E in it, I-E-L. So I always do I-E for everything, even though I think that might be the right way, or maybe it's I can't even
Stephanie
tell you.
Is an I-E.
It is I-E. It means I'm gonna give you examples of everything.
I-E-I-E-O.
It's like the dyslexic way to sing that fucking song.
With a tangent here and a tangent there. Here a tangent, there a tangent, everywhere a tangent.
Talking riddles all night long.
Welcome to the deep end.
We hope you like our show.
I'm going to pull from Beyond Lemuria again.
I decided I'm not going to say anything stupid. I can't even say it with a straight face.
What? Here, understand you.
I said I'm not gonna say anything stupid tonight. I'm just gonna let you talk tonight, but I'm laughing because I know that's not gonna happen. Oh man, I'm too high to record. This is not a good idea. Good luck, Stephanie.
Yeah, I have a paint class tomorrow night that actually has like 6 people or so signed up. So
Hell
that's
yeah.
cool. It's the Jacko Kitty or Kitty Lantern or whatever.
Jacko Kitty. That sounds so like serial killer. We got the Jacko Kitty on the loose.
I can't remember which one I called it. I may have called it a Jacko Kitty. I can't remember.
I'm gonna jack yo kitty.
It'll be cute though. I've
Yeah.
actually the other class I had the other night, I had 3 kids in it and 1 adult. And yeah, so it's fun painting with kids though. They
Oh yeah, I bet.
sometimes they're hard on themselves, but for the most part, they are usually way less harsh on themselves and usually are more in the moment and embrace their inspiration and follow it without fear, usually. Some kids are a little harder with that, but so it's always really fun to see what kind of stuff they come up with. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. I know, it'd be fun to do paint classes like that with kids.
And I always, at the beginning of every class, I always say the number 1 rule in my class is do whatever you want. You do not have to listen to me. You can follow your own inspiration. You don't even have to do this painting if you don't want to. I say that in the beginning of every class.
That's cool.
And because I want to give people that permission slip, to follow their inspiration and not feel like I'll be offended. I'm not attached to the design, I've had people, when I was dealing blackjack, people knew that I did paint nights. And for a couple months, the casino used someone else instead of me. And one of the girls came out from the class like crying because she did her background different colors. She like brought some of her own paint and followed the class mostly, but then also did have her own like unique spin on it. And the teacher wouldn't let her be in the class picture.
What the fuck?
Like totally ostracized her. I've also heard other people say the same teacher will come up to you and grab your canvas and hold it up and be like, this is how I don't want you to do it. And things like that. Yeah.
Fuck that. Oh my God.
So, I mean, people are paying you money to be there. And yeah, they're there for you to teach them, but if they don't want that, then they should be able to do whatever they want and without ostracizing them or publicly humiliating them or whatever the case may be, That really just would upset me that they did that. But I was the kind of kid that happened to me in art class too. I would always get in trouble for not following the rules because I always wanted to do some version of the original, but my brain always wanted to do my own spin on it, Yeah. And that's not how you follow. That's not following directions.
Yeah. I know. I had this one stupid fucking teacher in college. It was for contemporary art, and I did this piece. It's a really good song. I should send it to you sometime. And if you want to sing it, that would be awesome because I laugh. But I used this translator app and I put it in Italian. And then I had this white piece of paper and then I just painted a red circle on it. And I wrote the poem or the song, over the paint or, so it was just like the Japan flag with this poem on it. And even the red circle, like I showed it to one of my friends and he's like, wow, that's really beautiful. He's like, it looks like a phoenix in there. Well, I turned it in because it was a homework assignment for my contemporary art class. And he was like, I just don't get it. He was like, I think you should just have like the painting and then have the poem on the side, like just separate the two. And I'm like, then that'll be a fucking Japanese flag and a poem. Like that makes no fucking sense. Like that's the point. It's about a guy who went to fucking Japan. like, fuck you, dude. Like, no, that doesn't go with what I'm going for. But like, I appreciate your input, but actually, no, it's not. Like, fuck off. Give me a grade. Shut up.
Yeah, it was the same way with I got in trouble all the time in art. Actually, oddly enough, because I'm an art teacher pretty much for a living, I hated my art teacher in high school. We did not get along at all. In fact, I got kicked out of her class. Like, and I
Wow.
also got kicked out
Yeah.
of her husband's class too, which is funny. But that's the husband was the science teacher, and I didn't get along with him at all. Had to go on home study to finish science to graduate. This art teacher was like a really beloved person in the community, and everyone just thought she like walked on water. And I just saw right through her. She was very awful. She was very awful. It may have had to do with the color of my skin, but she was really awful to me. Sucked. But that's one of the reasons in my art classes I make sure that people can do whatever they want.
Well, that's the thing is, perhaps that's why, you went through that is to understand that. So now you can help others,
Right.
more people to feel free.
Mm-hmm.
Because you do have Saturn, the planet of restriction, in your creative house. And
Mm,
so you've dealt with a lot of restriction in
mm-hmm.
with your creativity from childhood.
Yeah.
That completely explains that too. Jesus, there's like cat paws coming under the door. Meow, let me in, Mom.
Why don't we talk about our sessions?
Well, yeah, I did want to because there was some similarities with like the karma from that murder life stemming from like the Italian life.
So this last weekend, we decided that we were going to take turns, and so I put Stephanie under for one past life, and then we traded, and she put me under for a past life.
Yes. It was great.
Was it as good for you as it was for me?
It was. It was indeed. No, it was really cool. I don't know, lately I've kind of been like maxed out on like healing, like going
Mm-hmm.
into lives for healing. And like when I thought we were supposed to have a sesh and we didn't, I honestly was like, yeah, it's okay. I ended up laying around and watching TV at the end of the day. It was wonderful. I loved it. Just taking a day off.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't really been too like eager to get back into lives, and so I didn't know what to go into. You suggested the Italian life. It's because we know we're both in it. And so yeah, it was really fun. It was fun going in that one. Like because I know a lot of the plot points, but there was some stuff that was interesting. Um, I really liked, yeah, but like I also was surprised at how many people I know from this life that are in that life. And in fact, I I messaged my buddy from college and told him, I was like, yeah, because him and I joked on that shroom trip when we saw the alien, and he ended up passing out and shit. We were talking about how we used to be in the mob together. Like we just joked about that randomly, and it just became this inside joke between the two of us. And I messaged him and I was like, dude, so we really were in the mob. And I told
What'd he
him, like,
say?
he thought it was cool. He was like, hell yeah, I could see that. And because I told him about how me, you, and him, we loved like hurting people. Like we loved beating the shit out of people. Like we loved the feeling of our fists hitting their faces kind of thing. And
Mm-hmm.
he's like, yeah, I could see that. But I told him, I was like, you had an early death though, and it really fucked with me. Like I got really dark after that because all the kids I grew up with died. And then I also told him, I was like, but you guys collected me when I died. Like we all, you guys you guys appeared as like when we were probably like 12, 13, and we all ran off into the light together and played soccer or football.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that life was so cool. Like I also want to know who else is in it because I kind of low key wonder if my dad was the Don that I've followed so closely and like looked up to.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know, there's just something about I don't know. There's just something about that vibe. I don't know why. I don't know. In
Yeah.
this life,
Did you get that like whenever you were listening back to it?
hmm Because in this life, he's like I've worked for him before, and because he's had his own business and stuff, and my brothers and I we've worked for him before, and he's a great boss, and I've learned a lot from him that way, and I don't know, just I don't know what it is about it, just the vibe of it. I just feel like it could be my dad.
Mm.
Yeah. I don't know. I might, yeah, I'm gonna have to ask. And then if I do, if it is, he'll probably think I'm fucking nuts, but I'll be like, because he's like obsessed with like mob culture. He
Oh, that would
really,
make sense.
he loved The Sopranos. He watched it all the time when it was on, and
Hmm.
I watched The Godfather, and I told him that reminded me of him. And he liked that. He was like, "Oh, that's cool." But I don't know. It's so that there's just something about that. I'm like, I wonder because, like my dad, he's not like this bad dad. He's just we have a very business-like relationship. Like I respect him, but we don't have this like ooey gooey father-daughter thing.
Hmm.
Like it's kind of cool. I have a more emotional relationship like that with my stepdad. I mean, we still have, barriers, but because, I didn't grow up, with him, but we still that it's nice having that with him, but my dad, him and I, we have more of a business relationship. And I've said this a few times, like if I incarnated with him again, I would definitely do another boss mentor kind of role because I really yeah, I respect him in that capacity. I think he's a great boss. He's a great businessman. Like I've learned a lot about that kind of shit from him. I don't know. That's why like yeah, like he's obsessed with mob culture. So I would tell him that. I'd be like, yeah, so by the way, I do all these past life things and you actually were in the mob and you taught me everything and I came up and filled your shoes, dude.
It'd be interesting to see what his reaction to that would be.
He'd probably laugh, but he'd probably think it was cool. He doesn't believe in anything, so it would be interesting to see his reaction because, yeah, he really doesn't believe in anything. Yeah.
Hmm.
And so, yeah, it'd be funny. I would definitely tell him that one. I don't think I would tell him about the attic life. But yeah, I think he was my dad in the schizo life too.
Mm.
Oh, and he was also in the murder life. He was the mom. He was my mother-in-law.
Oh, okay. What was her role in that?
She was beat too
Mm.
by her husband and her son. He beat her too.
Oh, okay. Interesting. And aren't they from different sides of the family, of your family?
No, his is
Oh,
my yeah, that's the
okay.
whole weird when I showed you on that. I don't know if you saw
Mm-hmm.
that video, but yeah, that map or whatever, that's yeah, that's the his my mom's side, they're all dead. Like my mom has a sister, but I've seen her maybe a few times in my life. She's kind of toxic. But yeah, my mom's dad or my grandma died when my mom was 10, and then my grandpa died when my mom was 17.
Oh.
Yeah, it's sad. My mom's dealt with a lot of shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then she lived with her grandma for a little bit, and then she died, and then she ended up having a guardian. My parents or my grandparents, like their best friends raised her, and I've met them a couple times. They're pretty cool.
Oh, wow. Because
Yeah,
she was around a lot whenever she was a kid, huh? Passed like to a lot of different families and friends,
I guess.
one reason or
Yeah.
another.
Well, her dad died when she was 17, so it really
Oh.
wasn't a thing for too
Mm-hmm.
long, I guess. But I don't know. Her healing journey was, I think, around mainly just releasing that.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I felt like something shake for a second there. I swear to God, if there's a fucking earthquake.
I didn't feel anything.
Well, my mixtape isn't set to drop for another week, so you wouldn't. God, we haven't had one in a while, and I hate when that happens because then it's like, here they come.
Yeah, I always feel it pretty good because we're in a trailer, and
I
so
know, right? Well, I'm in my closet and it's very the closets are always really structurally sound, so you
yeah,
don't really feel a lot of wobble in here. But I do have a wall in my living room that one big earthquake a couple years ago, right before Christmas. Um, yeah, that one, a lot of pictures fell and shit fell over that was on that wall.
yeah, and it's gonna keep on keeping on. It's actually better to have more frequent small ones, but
I know. That's what I'm. Yeah, dude, that one big one though, that with the aftershocks all fucking day and for like days, that was so unnerving. That really bothered me. It was really that shit. Because like, okay, I had just getting ready to fall asleep and I had friends on. I was gonna fall asleep to it. And I roll over on my side and all of a sudden everything's just starts shaking violently. And and of course Alan wakes up from a dead sleep and he's like screaming. And I'm like, "Will you grab the baby? Let's go. Wake up, you fart." And then fucking he finally snaps out of it and gets up. And then everybody, once everything calmed down, like Sonia basically slept through the whole thing. And once everything calmed down a little bit, everybody was going back to sleep. And it was like fucking a repeat. I went to go roll over, and right when I closed my eyes, the fucking aftershock started. I was like, ah! It's like, fuck you. I couldn't sleep. It was horrible. Yeah. I have never been in earthquakes till I moved up here, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. They oddly, I'm terrified of tsunamis and skyscrapers crumbling to the ground with me in the top, but for some reason, earthquakes don't really bother me.
Oh, it's
I'm
so
just
unnerving. It
like,
scares the
grab
shit
onto
out of me.
something, stand in a doorway.
Not
It'll
me.
pass.
It scares the shit out of me because I'm like, it just is like, when is it going to stop shaking?
Right.
It's like, and you know what's funny is because sometimes you get just a little jolt and then that's it. There's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but the thing that's scary is when it's that jolt, it's like, is it going to keep going? There's that split second where you're like, is it going to keep going?
Right.
That's what freaks me out. Because I don't know, there's always like this sound or just this pop, and you're like, oh, here we go. We always just run into the hallway because it's really 2x4-y in there. I don't know what the right word is.
Yeah.
It's all a bunch of 2x4s together, in one location.
Yeah, they say you're supposed to get in like a triangular, look for something that would be like so if something fell, it would create a triangle of space for you. You wouldn't get
Hmm.
smashed, kind of a thing.
Yeah,
I remember when we were kids, they would make us get under the desks and stuff, and I remember always thinking, what's that gonna do? It's just gonna smash the desk on top of me.
I know. I remember getting under the desks too. And I don't know. I was always like, it was just like this arbitrary thing, It's like, oh, there's gonna be an earthquake someday and it's gonna be a big one. Get under your desks, kids, and whatever.
Like
And
in Utah, because you guys didn't really have them, or what?
there was a big fault line there, but yeah, we didn't have them. No, I mean, there's been some, randomly, whatever, but not like there are here, no. And because I grew up in Utah. I've lived there since I was in like second grade until I joined the military. So, and nothing. And then I was up here visiting. I was still in school in San Diego, but I was up here visiting. And I was in the guest room and I get woken up out of a deep sleep because the bed's shaking. And I swear to God, I thought Chad was shaking the bed. I was yelling at him to stop. And then I snapped out of it and was like, and then the shaking stopped. And I was like, what the fuck was that? And then back to sleep. But it was so weird to me. I remember thinking Chad was shaking my bed. I'm like, why are you shaking the bed? Bitch, he dead. That's God. Actually, no, that's the tectonic plates of the earth.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely being a California kid, I remember when the big one happened in the 80s that people drove off of the bridges into the bay and set in San Francisco, and
Oh my God.
people in LA got trapped in car parks, and that's where my main fear of bridges comes from, is watching that over and over on the news as a kid. People just driving right off the fucking bridge.
Dude, there was a movie when I was a kid that came out about an earthquake in a building and just like all the shit falling on them. I don't know, that traumatized me as a kid. Like I
Yeah.
couldn't go to sleep and my mom was like reminding me that like she's like, "No, those are just actors. It's just to pretend. Those are just foam blocks that's falling on them." And I'm like, "Okay, I think you're lying."
Yeah. Or maybe you've been in one before in a past life and so you had experienced that.
That's what I
So
was gonna
that's
say, because I
yeah.
do have like I just have this crazy fear of earthquakes, like when is it gonna stop? It's gonna get worse. Is it gonna get, like
I wonder if you were in Lemuria whenever the big explosion and rumble happened.
no, I asked
I
if
mean,
I was
not
in,
Lemuria, Atlantis, I mean.
oh, I know, right? There was this crazy documentary on Netflix about the earthquake in Nepal that was up on Mount Everest and everything. Like, did you watch that?
Mm-mm.
It's really good, but it like is really unnerving.
Mm.
Like I wonder, yeah, because like sometimes I wonder about shit like that. Yeah, what if I was in something like that?
We should ask next time. Put
Uh-huh,
it on the
yeah.
list.
Put it on that motherfucking list. I need to find the list.
Right. I know we haven't had a list in a while because we pretty much do it so much.
I know, I stopped looking at my list. I was just like, ugh.
Yeah, so the past life that I went to was a life. I don't know if it was necessarily which it was, but it was like, it seemed like it was in a time where it was more common and people had, abilities of clairvoyance and knowledge of the earth and the medicines. And I went to a past life with my current husband where we were also married in that lifetime.
Don't say current husband, just say with my husband.
Oh, well, because I'm going to talk about the husband in that life and then, yeah, so.
I know, but it just sounds like that he's my husband right now. He might not be later.
Yeah, well, fuck around and find out, I guess, huh? I'm just kidding. We basically were persecuted by religious people that were trying to come in and conquer and change the religion of the land. Persecuted, and I was killed right after having a baby, and they were trying to get me before I had the baby, and a lot of running for my life. And my husband was killed to make an example out of him, and it was a pretty. And basically, once they finally caught me, they killed me by crushing me underneath a giant stone because they were trying to get me to give information about my kid and my husband, and I wouldn't. So that was pretty wild. It was also
Mhm.
really wild feeling the sensations of being crushed under the stone.
I know, I didn't know where to
So,
take you with that. That was like, yeah.
yeah, it's really interesting. I could like feel my bones breaking and stuff, and my like hips and uterus like crushing and stuff. It's really wild.
That is wild because I rarely feel the sensations when I'm in it.
Yeah,
Like,
it seems like my body's using that more and more because that seems to be the only thing I freaking can interpret.
that is true because it's like the only thing that gets your attention that it's, real.
Yeah.
Because there were only a few times where I actually felt sensations. Like in Scotland, when the kids were missing, I felt the hollowness in my chest.
Mm.
Like that was really hard. And like the emotions from the 1800s life, like that one really, yeah. That one, if I ask questions about that one, I can't. I burst into tears.
Yeah.
That was a really sad one.
Well, like in the Egypt life, they were trying to get me to understand that like I was angry all the time, and then they made my jaw hurt, like clenching your jaws. Why does my jaw hurt? Because I'm clenching them. Why? Because I'm angry. Like that was the line of questioning inside my head that was going on.
Nice. That's cool.
So yeah, it's kind of interesting.
I know. It is interesting how you interpret scenes, and like, because I learn something new every session about how I interpret each scene.
Hmm. So I'm gonna do a healing ceremony, well, releasing ceremony tomorrow to try to get rid of more of the energy that I have in my legs that I have a lot of leg pain anyway, and I think it might be somehow associated. So It's worth a try anyway.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do one related to the Italian life. I think I'm gonna just do a personal one, release some shit I want to release.
Mm-hmm. It's time for a vibe check.
Vibe check. It's a vibe.
Vibes all day.
I'm digging your vibe, baby.
We're each going to pull some oracle cards to read what is the vibe of the week.
Hell yeah, let's see what the current energetic vortex has for us today.
I am pulling from Beyond Lemuria Oracle deck. And I pulled the High Heart Chakra, Ecstatic Bliss, Divine Love, Selflessness, Spiritual Compassion, Oneness through Heart-Centered Bliss, Healing, Gratitude, Giving Love, Dharma, Patience, Joy. This card taps into the blissful oneness that we feel as we drop away our edges and protective containers. This is the place where we feel held and seen, enough to flow into oneness, where the eternal part of me meets the eternal part of you. This is the selfless state where our higher selves commune, for the illuminated perspective on how we share, gift, and lift others in our joyful overflow. Consider your life purpose by exploring what allows you to give in joy. The ways you can bring joy to yourself and others. The theme is the way you can bring joy to yourself and others. And the color is pink, iridescent pink.
On Wednesdays, we wear pink. Nice. I like it. That was stupid. Nice. I like it.
Hopefully this is about like the new energy that's coming in. Okay, sorry. Keep going.
You're the one who was talking.
Like I said, he got a bunch of different weeds today, so I can't guarantee what's coming out of my mouth
Are you
right
kidding
now.
me? I just bought some new weed too, and I'm on Neptune, dude. I went to Neptune.
Yeah, but that one
that's where
was
you'll find
not
me.
yummy.
Yeah. Are you done already?
The healing position is the thymus gland behind your sternum, a little above the heart.
What?
At the bottom of the card, it says there's a healing position.
What is going on right now? You're still on your card. I thought you told me to go on when you're the one who was talking. And then
And you said I'm talking. So I said, okay, I'll do more.
no. No more. No. I drew the comic. Sorry. I drew from this deck. Guess which one?
Something that's wild and unknown. Am I close?
I literally was about to say it. My eyes were on it as you said it. So you were my inner voice.
I'm telepathic, man.
Telepathic, yeah. Well, guys, I drew the comic
from my Wilds Unknown deck. Okay, I'm not saying it like that.
Is it archetypes or animals?
It's the archetypes. I'm trying to get there, but I can't stop laughing. I decided to go back to the archetypes deck. I wanted to see what I could pull if I got a new card because I keep pulling the same ones. And I pulled the comic. The comic carries a remedy for all that ails this world. Amid the deepest pain and suffering, there is always the potential to lift up and out of the darkness through laughter. Though dismissed by some as lowbrow or unsophisticated, this archetype actually has a highly advanced mind. Some may use the word genius. As humor requires one to see the situation from afar rather than to be swept away by the drama, the comic sees and accepts the messiness of life, using it as material to be mixed and shaped into potion to soothe the stressed and serious mind. They literally lighten us up. Thus, within the comic is usually the sage or the magician working healing magic upon any audience who will lend an ear. The comic may be the archetype that heals the deep division in our world, one pun at a time. I love that card. That's cute.
Yeah, that's a good one. I don't know. I just feel like I haven't really had much time. I haven't even listened to my books. I haven't watched any Gaia. Like,
I haven't
I haven't
either.
done shit.
I today I put on Audible, but I didn't feel like listening to anything spiritual. I actually just wanted to I don't know, I saw this reel and it made me laugh, but this chick was like what she must look like doing her chores while listening to audiobooks.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
It was so cute, but I was like that it just hit me. I was like, I should listen to my Outlander series because I bought this is why this sucks because I bought the whole series in paperback, but I have no time to read it. The only times I ever read it was when I was pregnant or like when Sienna would nap, she had to do contact naps and like she had to have my boob like in her face the entire time she was sleeping. Like a lot of the times I would whip it out and she wouldn't even want it. She just wanted it in her face. It was funny. So yeah, I used to just lay there and read books, while she would sleep. And then we stopped doing that. And now I really don't sit and read books. Like the first time I started reading again, because I was reading Dolores too. And the first time I started reading again was when you were talking about Audible. I was like, duh, I should do that. And so today I was like, you know what? I just want to listen to my Outlander books. I want to like go through the whole series. So basically, I'm going to pay for it twice so I could have somebody read it to me.
Yeah. It's worth it though.
It is. It's fucking so it's worth it. I could just sell my series because it's mint condition. I only got to
Yeah.
book 3. And so I could sell some of them, get my money back.
Yeah, we buy a lot of books and then don't ever read them.
I have the intention. The intention is there. Like you should see my astrology library. Like granted, I do still refer to them and all that. Like there's a few books that I still refer to. They're my go-to books when I do readings and stuff too. And when I'm making content. Like one of the books I used as my whole lesson plan. I didn't know how to like format my lesson plan for my course when I first started wanting to do my course. And now AI just did my lesson plan. I'm like, that's a way better lesson plan than what the fucking book had. But, I used to talk shit about sidereal astrology and I asked AI, like, what's the difference between a sidereal and tropical astrology? And I actually learned something. I learned why people, but like, it pisses me off why people follow it because they treat it like it's a conspiracy based system. It's like, this is the real, okay? And it's really this, and it's because of this, and they're lying to you. And it's like, no, it's just tropical follows the seasons. It's never changing. The seasons are just set in stone. They're always the same every year, right?
Hmm.
And so, because Aries aligns with the spring equinox, so it's the beginning, the start of everything. And then the next cardinal sign is Cancer, which is the start of summer. It's the summer solstice. And then Libra season in the fall starts the fall equinox, right? And then
Hmm.
Capricorn starts at the beginning of the winter solstice. So it's like follows that. But sidereal astrology, they follow the constellations and because and Vedic astrology does too, because it's just what they follow where the planets are at right now in this going through the constellations when and I guess it's like some wobble of the earth or some stupid whatever made the system off by 24 degrees. And so
Hmm.
it's like that's why I have a hard time with that because it's like okay, so if it's that off, why are you following it, but
Yeah.
because it completely changes your sign. Like I'm a fucking Scorpio in Vedic and sidereal astrology, and I'm like, look, and the only way I believe this shit is if the energy of a Scorpio in Vedic is the same as a tropical Sagittarius, then I'll believe it. But if a Vedic Scorpio is the same as a tropical Scorpio, that's fucking bullshit because the energy is not the same.
Hmm.
Like I'm not a Scorpio. Like I have Scorpio shit, but I'm a Sagittarius, you know.
So
It would make you a Sagittarius.
yeah, that's what I was wondering. I think I saw that. Is that the one that there's like there's an extra?
No, that's don't buy into that. That's just literally just a bunch of misinformation thrown in
Yeah, why
to
do they do that?
to discredit astrology. Yeah, they're just
Oh.
it's yeah, just don't buy into that shit. That's just Ophiuchus is a constellation and it's not the 13th constellation or sign. There's thousands of constellations, okay? Ophiuchus is just one of them. And the
Hmm.
reason why it's in the mix is because it sits between Scorpio and Sagittarius, but it's not part of the zodiac. Because the zodiac is a mythical band in the sky that contains the constellations. That's what tropical astrology follows. Because the zodiac roughly follows the sun's ecliptic path through, oh God, I'm not saying this right. Okay, so the sun follows the ecliptic around the earth in a straight line, right? Rises in the east, sets in the west, you know?
Okay.
It doesn't rise in the north and set in the south, you know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's this that's the ecliptic, okay? And that ecliptic path goes through the zodiac. So where the moon is right now, it's in the Aries zodiac sign. However, it's probably in Pisces constellation, you know. But in the zodiac belt follows the fucking seasons and the this and the that. That's why when people are like, when you see those conspiracy minded fucks that are trying to make a controversy out of nothing, it's like they say the sun is in this sign, but it's really here. It's like, yeah, it's there, but it really is in this sign. It's in this sign in the zodiac, okay? Not in, like they're following two different house systems and trying to, you know what I mean? Like it
Hmm.
is in the zodiac belt. Yes, it is in that sign. But yes, in your house system, in this constellation, it's in a completely different sign because you're not following the zodiac belt. You're just following a group of constellations. If that, you know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's just different. And I don't know. That's why I could never get down with it because I don't know. Why is there such a conspiracy? My favorite too is when people are like, there should be 13 months. See, they had it like this and they're trying to make it different. They used to do this in Julius Caesar's times and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh my God. There's a reason why it was done in the ancient times for a little bit and they never did it anymore. It's like that's the lunar cycle. It's the lunar cycle. We don't orbit the moon. That's why we don't follow it. Okay. We follow the sun and the solar cycle because that's what we orbit and what affects life on Earth. It's our life force, you know. That's what you follow. I don't know. It's funny. Like I hate when people have to make a controversy out of everything.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that.
I know. I hope I explained that well because I'm learning that by putting together this course, like this section of that the AI had me write about sidereal versus tropical. I learned that sidereal, it really is it's a thing that they've done, like it's kind of like Vedic. Vedic is really good for predictive astrology. Excuse me, I had to drink some water. Vedic is really good for predictive stuff. That's why I love that Vedic astrology app. I ask them shit all the time. Well, not all the time, but I've asked them stuff about my career and stuff, and everything they've said so far has come true. I always thought sidereal was this conspiracy based, system, but which a lot of the followers, they're followers because of that, I think they're trying to be rebels, but I don't think they understand why everything, like, why it is, it's like they watched a TikTok video and now they know. I haven't been journaling in a while. I need to fucking write in that bitch. I don't really have much to say.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I do. I just don't feel like saying it.
Yeah, I feel like I haven't had time to do a lot of that kind of stuff lately.
Yeah, I go through like cycles where I journal a lot and then ones where I barely write anything. It's just like the lulls in the year.
Yeah.
And this is usually the time when I'm like not doing that. Okay, we need to talk about something more exciting. This is fucking boring. Yeah.
But there's
Yeah.
nothing.
I
I
know.
looked up last night, I was like tripping about the having to quit smoking weed for this job, right? And then so I'm like, I should look up and see like what their other policies are because that's always an issue for me too. And it didn't even occur to me. I was like, looked it up. Sure enough, no visible tattoos, no piercings, no hair color.
Oh, fuck
Like
that.
fucking A, man. Seriously, like how much am I willing to give up for free flights? How much of my
Girl, you suck it
identity?
up, okay? You
I
fucking
know,
suck
it's
it up.
like
Brown is a cute color. Oh,
it
normal
literally
makeup
says
is
you
nice.
yeah, it literally says you can't even have any kind of clear streaks in your hair. You must have one single clear color across your
What?
whole
You can't
head. That's
even
a
have like
natural.
a normal
Nope.
highlighty thing. That's
Nope.
bullshit. That is bullshit. Rude.
And so, yeah, I'm like, I mean, that's been a major issue for me in the past and been an issue for me. But then I'm like, well, I want this so bad, maybe they'll make an exception for me. Maybe I just go to the interview anyway. And but then like they're just gonna take one look at me and be like tattoos, piercings, which I could take them out. Like I don't care about them that much. I mean, I'm kind of way past my like rebellion years. I could give her. I've already taken a lot of my ear piercings out. I used to have piercings all the way up my ears. Now I don't hardly ever wear anything.
Oh,
But it's just I don't know.
I just got my second hole pierced because Sonia, I saw the Claire's was doing free earrings for a year. I'm like, hell, let's stock up on earrings. I was like, come on, we're getting our ears pierced, girl. And so she got her ears pierced and I got my second hole pierced. And I've been having fun mixing and matching these fucking cheap Claire's earrings. Yeah, that sucks about the fucking airport, dude. So what are you gonna do? Are
And
you
I
gonna
just
still try for it or what?
I don't know. I really want to. I mean, it seems like it would be a means to be able to travel a lot. Like, and then, yeah, I mean, it's just really like having to, how much of my identity, my personal identity and my personal expression, at what point does that
Like,
become
how
more
much are you
important than
willing to
other? Yeah.
sacrifice for free for
Yeah. And
because
like this whole entire thing is all about my fucking sacrificing. Like, it's like,
yeah,
I know it is.
yeah, for real.
So I don't know. It's so. I mean,
Yeah,
obviously those things are superficial anyway. Like they're not that big of a deal, but
it seems nice, but it ends up being it's like doing a deal with the devil.
yeah. Yeah, I just don't know. I just don't know. Yeah, I'm just kind of worried they're going to take one look at me and be like, yeah, she's not our material. But,
Yeah,
part of me is like, well, don't convince myself of that before I even try.
exactly.
I don't know. But that was a little disheartening to see that.
I know it would be because I would be bummed. I That's why I hate customer service, and it dawned on me like why it because for the longest time I'm like, why do I hate customer service so much? And I couldn't dissect it. And then I realized when I worked at the mansion doing housekeeping, I loved housekeeping because I was left alone. I could just do my thing and not have to
Hmm.
deal with the public, you know. And then the nights I had to play innkeeper, I fucking hated it. I fucking hated it when people came to check in and shit. I fucking hated it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I've been in the service industry my whole fucking life. Like since I was a kid, my very first job was at a grocery store,
well,
bringing people up.
Yeah, like I realized the reason why I hate it so much is because I have to be someone I'm not.
Yeah.
I just don't, I just want to just be who I am and just tell jokes and be silly. And because it's like sucks because sometimes people, it's like you could tell a joke and your customers get it and it's fun, whatever. But
Hmm.
like comedy, like my whole life centers around, I just have to make you laugh. It's like a compulsion.
Hmm.
And I have to. And if people don't laugh at me, I just feel so inadequate. Like there was one time I worked at fucking Applebee's and I was so high. This is when I first started smoking pot, like, because I was a late bloomer with pot. I had this table and it was great. And they ordered, just like based off what they ordered, I was like doing these Mitch Hedberg one-liners and they looked at me like I was fucking retarded, but they were funny. I was like, you guys are lame. But yeah, I like really hate customer service because I just like to be silly and you can't. Plus,
Yeah.
I throw around the F word like so much and I don't mean to, but that's another thing they don't like in customer service.
That was the benefit of some casinos. You can get away with cussing more than others. But yeah, I mean, it's not a church, so you get away with a lot more shit working in a casino than you would like in a grocery store.
That is true. Yeah. I would
I mean,
like
I've
that a
like
lot more.
customers out before and like kicked them off my table and shit. So,
Good. For what?
oh, just talking shit, being rude, whatever I felt like. Look at me the wrong way. It's on the night.
Be like, you're a Gemini, get out of here. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, there's one guy that I totally flipped out on him and kicked him off my table. And then, like a few months later, we went and he was the ref at one of Fiona's baseball or volleyball or games. And I'm like, oh shit.
Did he recognize you?
I don't know. I mean, I was sitting with my brother. My brother was a dealer as well. And so it probably wouldn't take too long to put two and two together.
If he's drunk as fuck, he may not remember you.
No, he wasn't drunk.
Cause,
He
cause,
was one of those sober assholes.
oh, okay. Cause I was gonna say sometimes when I'm drunk, like everything's foggy. So it's like, I remember, I mean, like your face is foggy.
Right.
It's like the details of who you are is just foggy. Like it's just beer goggles.
No, I want to say he was actually a poker player. And so a lot of those guys, some of them come in there and get trashed, but a lot of them are come in there on purpose and stay sober and do the long haul and wait for the other guys to get drunk to take advantage of them. He was one of those types.
Oh yeah, fuck that. Fucking Sienna, she's so funny. She's
How's she
like,
liking kindergarten?
Sonia is
Oh,
the
yeah, Sonia.
Sonia's the one in kindergarten. She she likes
Well,
it.
no, I'm used to you calling her Squish.
I know for real. Well, and they both have like similar sounding names.
Right.
I swear I didn't plan that out. I thought Sienna was gonna be a boy. Like I love the name we had for the boy that we thought we were gonna have. I was sitting, oh, see, Sonia, she likes school. It's good. There's this friend. She, she's like so dramatic. It's like every day, it's like, you're my friend, you're not my friend, you're my friend, you're not my friend. And I'm like, just punch her in the fucking face. And then there's this one bitch who won't let her, like, she's friends with the chick who keeps saying, you're my friend, you're not my friend. And so I think someone else is in her ear who doesn't like Sonia and won't let her play. She's a bitch. I'm like,
Mm.
that's the one you need to punch in her face. Like all of my solutions for her is just to punch people in their face. Like I don't say it out loud. It's in my head. Like those are my solutions. Just punch them in their fucking face. Set the tone. Set it early. Then they won't fuck with you after that.
Yeah, I mean, well, my nephew's dealing with a bully at school, and I was like, you want me to put you in Taekwondo or in karate? Jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, jujitsu, dude, for real.
That's what gave me the confidence. I did it for a year when I was in Australia. I was in Taekwondo for the whole year. Came back and finally got in fights.
That's cool shit.
At Hoopa, you had to fight. Well, I mean, I guess not everyone, but it's kind of, if you want street cred, you have to.
That's funny. Street cred. It's just where I'm from in Utah. It's like street cred where I'm from. It's like I don't know because I never had street cred. But I don't know. It's so funny, like, because meeting people who grew up like that, it's just so it's funny to me because yeah, like I don't. I think I would feel like I'd stick out like a sore thumb in the hood too.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was part of the issue with me moving up there, between a bunch of reservations and going to high school on a reservation.
Hmm.
And I was also raised like that in Sacramento until I was 12. And then suddenly I was like in this fucking rough ass place where you had to fucking fist fight and people hated you for no reason and you had to worry about getting jumped whenever you were walking through the field after school just because someone's big sister thought that you looked like a bitch, and it's like that shit was crazy. That shit was hella crazy, man.
Yeah, I never did fights. I was never in fights, but I did. There was still around. Obviously, people fight, But,
Hmm.
but yeah, I've never been in a fight before. You know what's funny? It's like I don't know what it is either. I don't know what it is. But like when I make threats to people, like talk a big game, but like I am a big pussy. And there was one time Alan was growing up at like this dude has Alan come up and like do this grow because obviously he knows what he's doing. And this guy, like, they're all supposed to split it at the end, and like, it's supposed to be this, oh, it's all of us doing it. They just wanted Alan to be their little worker monkey and do all the work and, do all this and that. And when it came time to cut it down, like, they weren't giving him his cut,
Hmm.
and trying to screw him out of stuff. And I just asked him, I was like, so, I was like, how's it like walking around? Like, I know you don't eat, but like, do you like to be able to eat food? I was like, must be nice. And I was like, you should give Alan that shit that you owe him, And literally they were sitting on it for months. And when I threatened him, they immediately gave it up the next day. And this guy like was trying to get his gun and like be armed the whole time. And I'm like, like I'm, I'm this girl from Utah. All these rednecks that are armed to the teeth are afraid. I don't know. That made me laugh.
Yeah, because that's how we roll around here. I mean, that's the kind of shit I would do.
Well, because I still have that mob mindset. Like I don't
Hmm.
like if people don't like just say stuff like that to people. So I don't know, maybe I also thought about it. I was like, what if that little pipsqueak was in like a rival gang and I killed him and he knows that I'm dangerous? I mean business. But I don't know why I'm so intimidating to people in that regard. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm not usually either. It was just being put into that situation. It was like I had to in order to survive there,
No,
you know.
I don't blame you. Yeah, that's why well, that's what I mean is I don't know if I could do that. I don't know how I would adjust to that.
Yeah, I really, really resented my parents for it. That's for damn sure.
I bet. Fuck.
When I'm like Cush Sacramento and Girl Scouts and involved in the community and all this shit to like shithole fucking California, which
Why did they
eventually,
move there again? I forgot.
because whenever we went to the Gulf War, the housing market like imploded and we had a house flipping construction company.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
And one of
they
them
lost everything. They had to file
yeah,
bankruptcy. They couldn't sell any of the houses for even what they bought them for, let alone the money they put into them.
fuck.
And that's where my mom grew up. I'm a fourth generation. Our family homesteaded there during the Family Homestead Act or the American Homesteading Act in like 1903 or something. I think they came down from Oregon.
When did you do that?
What?
Sell Color Street?
I think I started doing it 2016, 2017, like a year after Color Street started. It was pretty early on. I pretty much did it like 'cause for the free shit and for getting stuff for myself. And then I had the other girls at the casino were hella into them, so I would sell a lot of them there. It just got to be, then they changed it to where you had to sell a minimum of this and that. And I had got to have such a huge stock up that I just wasn't really selling them. I had other things going on in my life. And then they just gave me the boot pretty much because I didn't reach minimum sales for like 6 months. So
Wow.
it's like, and I thought about leaving for a long time anyway, because you have to pay monthly fees to like have your website and all this shit.
Damn.
So it actually helped me for them making that decision for me. It was a decision that needed to happen. I mean, those multi-level marketing things are such fucking toxic shit anyway. But
Tell me about it.
I've gotten sucked into, I did this like sex toy parties
I did that
for a
briefly.
while.
Yeah, I did that briefly,
Brown
but
Bag Party is the company that I went through.
yeah.
And then the same thing. I got sucked in and I quickly realized that I was spending a lot of time doing like these home parties and educating people about, sexuality and stuff. And then a lot of these parties, they were just coming for like the free shit. And because it was a party just to get like trashed at their friend's house with the free food and all this
Well,
and
it's
that,
like sex toys, and so like, oh, hee.
Yeah.
No, I
And
know.
then,
Yeah, my friend used to do that. I like bought the welcome kit, but I never did the actual parties. My
yeah.
multi-level marketing was the jewelry. I did Park Lane, is that what it's? I keep seeing that in my head now. I can't remember. Maybe it is them. But I did this jewelry company and like I got pretty that one was pretty fruitful for me. I got as far as having a team. Like I made good money off of my team too. And like I had a month where I made like hella in sales and with my team sales, like I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. And but I don't know, I just felt really guilty because I'm really good at like talking people out of their money.
Mm,
I learned that doing that job. And I felt bad because I felt like some of these women are going to get in a fight when they go home.
mm,
And I felt bad about that. And so I couldn't do it anymore because of that. Because I was like, they're probably spending money they don't have on some of this. Because you could tell some of these women are like working shit out in their head and they probably shouldn't, but they want it because they're emotionally invested in this product. You
mm.
know, I just, yeah, I felt really guilty about that.
See, one of my problems was is I was really bad at that. I like had a really hard time talking people into buying things or like putting any kind of pressure on people. And I just didn't like have good sales at my parties. And then pretty soon I would like had all this like, always new products. So you have to buy the demos and this and that. And pretty soon I was just like really invested and people would steal shit at the parties and all kinds of shit. And then same
Wow.
thing, that company went bankrupt. We just had like a week notice. They just like told us out of nowhere that they were closed. And so here I was with like all these, yeah, poor me. I have all these sex toys that I got left with.
I know. I had quite an inventory that I had. I had like lubricants, toys, lotions,
Yeah.
candles. I was like, it was funny because when I moved to California, I packed it with me because I'm not leaving that shit behind. And fucking, I remember one time a boyfriend found one of my boxes of stuff. He's like, "What the fuck is all of this?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I used to sell sex toys." But I actually never even sold them. That was just, I basically paid for this giant kit of all this stuff. Don't like trying to sell people stuff because I'm not good at haggling. Like I take your word for it. If you say no, I'm like, okay. And
Hmm.
if I don't know how to do the deal and whatnot, I could get you like doing that jewelry stuff. I don't know. That's the only time that I've ever got people to buy stuff. And I don't like that side of me. So I don't use that side in sales now. So yeah, I'm not into sales because you gotta be that way to get a sale.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm just not down for that.
Yeah, that's why I've never been good at any kind of sales jobs, and I feel like that's why too. I have too much integrity, and I know how stupid I feel whenever I get like swindled or talked into things, you know?
Yeah. I got swindled into buying a timeshare and I got out of it by the skin of my teeth, thank God.
Yeah,
But
my
yeah.
family owns hella timeshares, and that's because my grandma and all kinds of family members have gotten talked into them over and over.
Yeah, but
I been a young kid. I go to the timeshare presentations to get the free shit, and then I just say no. But my family doesn't say no.
that's funny. I said yes, but then I was like, no, I'm not doing this. This is stupid. And
Yeah.
it was very stupid. Some people.
Yeah, I used to think timeshares were cool because that was how like my family was able to travel as a kid. But the older I got and then the internet, well, it was also they were different back then because it was hard unless you went to a travel agent. You couldn't just go online and
Hmm.
book a trip somewhere. But my grandma, because of her timeshares, would get this big, huge, thick book mailed to her every year with photos of the resorts, and it was always organized according to the countries and um, the different levels of your status and where you could stay, exchange into, and this and that. And so that's how we traveled when I was younger, was we would go through the catalog and figure out where we wanted to go through the timeshare company and then trade it in.
Hmm.
But then when we got older, like in my mid 20s, when online travel bookings started and then just began to grow, then pretty soon the timeshares, their ways were so outdated, and pretty soon they were even more expensive than booking online. And so my family had all these timeshares, but I never used them because it was cheaper just to book things direct, like on Priceline or Kayak through Kayak. For a long time ago, they were kind of an interesting way to do it.
Right.
I remember
Yeah.
being in like my in high school and like loving to thumb through the book and then just imagine all the places that I could go if I could use the family timeshare, you know?
I know, I wouldn't. I've always dreamed of having properties all over the world that we all just share between, friends or the family that you create, you know? And
Yeah.
yeah, it's like our own little, everybody has access. So it's like, if you want to go here, you go here. You want to go there, you go there. And if there's somebody already there, well, then cool, we could party together for a night, kind of thing. But yeah,
Have like a travel collective.
right? Yes, exactly.
I'm considering quitting smoking weed.
Why?
So I get like the ADHD paralysis where I'll just like get stuck in my day. And I notice that especially the days that are like wake up and smoke a blunt as soon as I wake up, I get really stuck.
Oh my God, I can't wake and bake. Yeah, I can't. Mm-mm.
And so, yeah, it's
Yeah,
I was just
I've definitely scaled back on my usage and it's made all the difference. It depends on the strain. Sometimes I'll do it to meditate with the intention of meditating deeper, you know?
right,
But mostly it's just like I try to do it at the end of my day, like in the evening. Sometimes I'll smoke something to, right before I cook dinner or like to paint for a little bit. But I usually just after the duty day's done as a mom, and I don't have to
right.
mom anymore, I'm like, all right. Like sometimes Sony will be like, bah, 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 bah. I'm like, hey, I'm off the clock, girl. Go entertain yourself.
Yeah, no,
Oh
I'm all
man.
day every day, and I have been for fucking years,
Oh, I
years
used
and
to be
years and
that
years.
way. Yeah. I just can't be a parent. That's what sucks because I was like that in college. Yeah, completely.
Yeah.
But
So it might make a big difference in my productivity. And I mean, I don't know, it's worth a shot trying, but this is just an extra push because
yeah.
if quitting smoking weed is all that's standing in the way between me having a job that I could potentially like, but then also having free flights anywhere I want,
Oh my God.
then
And
maybe
for
I need
your
to think
family
about quitting
too. I'm
smoking
your
weed.
family. We are
Yeah.
soul sisters.
I know. I'm like, how do I have to like prove the bloodline
I
or
know, right? Do you want me to bring my family tree?
this extends to soul family, right?
We had so many past lives together. I hope you get it. That's so awesome. Oh my God.
Right. But I mean, if she's applying and I don't know. So, I mean, obviously there's going to be competition for it, but I've been like having this inspiration for a long time. And every time I think about
I know.
where I
Yeah.
want to apply for jobs, it's always there.
Oh yeah, I know.
And so I feel
I've
like,
been feeling it too. So that's the thing. Like I'm wondering why it's taken you so long to
right.
apply. I
But
hope
then so she shows up to get this apple butter that I made out of creating and following my joy and literally lands in my lap the opportunity. And it's only open for 5 more days, the application. I don't know. I just kind of felt like it was all is part of the plan or something.
I think
I don't
so.
know.
Yeah, I think so.
But yeah, I mean, that would be really cool. I guess she said they send you to Alabama for 2 weeks to do your training or something.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, I had to do this training with PSAV. I had to fly to Chicago. I was there for like a week, and I felt like I was like my first business trip. And it was fun. Like I met some cool people in the class, and of course, the weed smokers always find each other.
Right.
And one of the guys found us weed, and so I'm like, fuck yeah. So I had like my smoking circle, while we were there. And then the last night, they all wanted to like take acid. I'm like, no, you guys have fun with that. I was like, I am tired as shit in these classes, and that's hard enough being in there. I can't imagine coming down off of an acid trip. Like, I would just want to go to bed. I would be
Yeah.
so pissed to sit in that class.
I've been thinking one of the reasons I keep thinking maybe I need to quit smoking weed is because I was thinking it might help get fire under my ass to go to the gym and exercise more.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. There
But I
was,
also don't have an appetite if I don't smoke weed. So,
well, that's okay. It could still help you make conscious choices. You could start
yeah.
fasting. That could be
Yeah.
your push to start fasting because that literally, fasting has so many physical and spiritual
Yeah.
side effects to it. Like I started fasting earlier this year for the spiritual stuff. I mean, obviously I wanted to lose weight too, but like I really kept with it because I don't know, I just felt really
Like intermittent fasting or like
yeah,
fasting for days.
no, fuck that. Intermittent fasting.
Mm-hmm.
Cause see, I already don't eat breakfast and I'm okay with that, and I never really was a breakfast person. And so that was easy. And so I would just wake up in the morning and make hot water with lemon, and I'd put some salt in there because you need the electrolytes when you're fasting. And then I would fast until after my workout. You don't
The
want to
lemon
break.
doesn't break your fast?
Mm-mm.
Huh.
You
Because I thought
want
only like black coffee and like plain tea is the only thing you could drink without breaking it.
no, you could do hot water with lemon.
Hmm.
Yeah, you could do that. It's never broken my fast, so yeah. My fast window is from 10 p.m. to like noon or 2 p.m. I usually like to do a 14 to 16 hour fast because it lowers your blood sugar to a certain point and keeps it low, and steady. Also, bone broth. You could drink bone broth, and that has a lot of protein in it, and it has collagen too. To at the beginning, if it's hard, like the hunger pains, if it gets hard.
Mm.
But eventually your body gets used to it and it loves it. It's so fucking easy, but it's like really good spiritually too. Like I'm telling you, like it's gonna give you so many benefits. So if it's gonna cut down your consumption anyway, then I would do it like where it can benefit your body. Because also, I also have liver problems. Because when I was pregnant, I always had gestational diabetes. Like it's the weirdest thing. I have no risk factors, but my liver and pancreas are just kind of, and so the fasting helps regulate that and in your digestion. But I added that to my gut healing arsenal. So I would highly recommend on an empty fasting stomach to drink hot water with lemon. That will do wonders for your liver.
Mm.
And that'll be $100 for your bill from Dr. Stephanie Magdale. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
whenever I had juice fasted, I like definitely loved it. It was it's difficult, but intermittent fasting is definitely easier. I did intermittent fasting for a while when I was working at the casino. So juice fasting is a little different, and I did that for like 3 months off and on. But I lost like almost 100 pounds in 3 months doing it. And I
Nice.
felt like so fucking good, and my skin and my hair was like phenomenal. But basically, I do a juice that is, I go and get hell like greens and stuff from Costco, and then like fruit. But I really, it needs to be at least half pure green vegetables with like no sugar vegetables, and then like carrots and stuff is part of the fruit half of it because it's like sugary. But I try to do more than half green because I don't want to have the sugar aspects of it, but break it all down into a juice and mix it all together and then drink that pretty much anytime I'm hungry for several weeks. And then I'll have like cheat days and then I feel like shit and then I go right back on it. It gives your organs a break from digestion and basically lets them go into self-repair mode. And that 3 months was how I healed my liver or my gut to where suddenly after that I was able to have dairy again. And I've been allergic to dairy since I was like 12.
Yeah,
And
that's
so
insane to me.
then me and ice cream had, an affair
Finally
ever
got it
since. But
on.
yeah, it was like we had a lot of lost time to make up for. So to where I'm
Long
at
lost
now.
loves. That's funny, you guys. But you gained your love weight, when you're in love, you gain weight.
Right. But
Uh,
yeah, I need to get back there again. I was able to do it
yeah.
because I was single at the time.
Tell me about it. Once I kicked Alan out, like I was finally able to like focus, like
Right.
focus. Because I am adaptable, okay? I'm very adaptable. So if I'm with a partner who loves junk food and candy, I love junk food and candy.
Yeah, me too. It sucks.
So
And
yeah, I know I have
Travis
no
has
willpower.
terrible, terrible history with nutrition. Like they are so his family or the way he was raised is very much about the soul food and it
Hmm.
doesn't and then they also, I think maybe weren't, they didn't have a lot of money, so it's also the cheap shit, the bologna and American craft single
Yeah.
cheap, with on white bread and
Yeah, that's what Alan
trying to
grew up
teach
with
him
too.
nutrition and stuff and he'll like pretty much sometimes fight me on it because like he views my education and nutrition as elitist and like I'm just saying it for my own ego rather than me
It's
actually
what
really caring
health
about him.
professionals and nutritionists
Yeah.
are taught. That's how the human body works, bro.
Yeah. I mean, we fight about food preservation, we fight about yeah,
Oh my
nutrition. I
gosh,
mean,
that's funny.
bro just bought a ring of bologna a couple days ago. So it's like but yeah, so when we first got to he thought when we first got together, I ate only like stuff from wild berries or like Eureka Natural Foods, and I was like this total natural. I when we got together, I was at the end of the 3 months I had been juicing, so I was like thin and nice skin and just had hella high ass energy and it
Yeah.
was crazy, but he I would try to teach him about like organic foods, and he thought like organic was like something that you added to the food. Like he like
Like a
didn't
seasoning.
understand the concept. Like it just was beyond him. But he grew up, New York City and South Carolina. So between the two, I don't know. I
Well,
don't know.
I mean, I get that. You grow up a certain way, you don't understand,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
because I grew up on a Midwest diet, so it was like we had a protein, a carb, and a vegetable. And sometimes if it was just corn, that counted. But now knowing that corn, I mean, it's good. I love
It's
it, but
actually a
it's
carb.
yeah, it's like it's not really a vegetable.
Oh yeah, no. I mean his favorite meal, if he is the one that cooks the meal for the evening, is like a homemade macaroni and cheese, a pot of rice, corn, and then some sort of meat, and then maybe like bread rolls.
Yeah, always, yeah, rolls totally and buttery crumble.
So tell me again why I've gained over 100 pounds.
I know there was one night Max was like, "What's for dinner?" And I'm like, "Midwest food." And he's like, "I love these nights." Because I just cook shit I grew up on. And so I made grilled cheeses, fries, and the mixed vegetables that you steam.
Mm.
Like the green beans, peas, and corn, all the carbs. But the girls love it and it makes me happy. I'm like, whatever. Sometimes I do love just Midwestern food. In fact, there's this
Right.
Instagram page I follow. This guy makes Midwestern stuff, and I'm like, I forgot about that. Holy shit! It's funny. But
See, he
anyway,
loves to cook. It's how he like I'm pretty sure it's how he connects like with his mother and grandmother, but more his mother. He like associates food with her.
uh-huh.
And but since he's been working at this care facility and he cooks for a living, he like hates cooking now at home.
Oh yeah, tell
And
me about it. That's how I was with the military. I swear to God,
yeah,
yeah, I loved cooking before. It took me a long fucking time. I'm talking almost the better part of a decade to start actually liking to cook again. Because
yeah.
I joked with Max, I'm like, like we ate out as often as I could. If I had money, we were eating out because I
Mm-hmm.
fucking hated cooking because that's what I did in the military, or at
Yeah.
least what I did active duty. I did medical
That's my
stuff.
life.
Yeah, like it sucked the joy out of it. I fucking hated it so much. Some of the only jobs I could get were waitressing jobs. So of course you're in the kitchen working around food, and that made me hate it
Right.
even more because it's so stressful. Everybody's an
Mm-hmm.
asshole, especially the fucking egomaniac cooks. Like I hated it. I fucking hated it for a really long time.
So when I first moved out to here to the coast to go to college, the only job I could find was in the restaurant. Carl's Jr. basically. And all of my jobs until I became a blackjack dealer, so from the age of 18 until 2005. So for 5 years, all I worked in was the food industry. And so obviously I hated fucking cooking at home. And then I became a dealer and suddenly had hella money and still hated cooking. So like, that we would eat out all the time. I mean, that's like most dealers do that. Because when
Hmm.
we used to get to take cash every single night and tips. And so you're walking out of there with several $100s of cash in your pocket every single night. Going out to eat with your friends is like nothing, and it just becomes part of your like daily routine is where are we going to lunch today? And yeah, which is probably a good thing that I finally got out of that. But once the legalization hit and the tips changed, then we all had to kind of change that. But yeah,
Yeah.
Jenna's the same way. She fucking hates cooking, hates cooking. So, we would go out to eat all the fucking time.
Oh yeah. Like my best friend throughout high school and like early adult life, she doesn't cook. She just doesn't cook. But anyway, like when we would go hang out, yeah, she doesn't fucking cook. She doesn't like cooking. And yeah, we ate out all the fucking time because she loves food like me. Like that's where we bonded because I love going out to eat with people who love to order a lot of food. Like I need to
Yeah.
have I need to have appetizers. I need to have a couple entrees we could all share. Like
Dude, that was like a
that
big.
Italian life made an impact on me, bro. I eat like a fucking Italian.
So, and yeah, being like, that's what me and my friends do. We would order a bunch of stuff so we could all try a bunch of stuff and like share,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah.
And Travis hates that about me. And my
What?
family does it too. My family will do it too. We'll be like, me and my mom traveled all the time with our quilt shop, and we'd be like, every single restaurant, like, all right, let's each get one thing, and then we'll cut them in half, and you get a half my sandwich, and I get half yours, or half my burger, or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And so, but I try to do that with him, and he gets irate. It's his plate is his food,
Joey
and
doesn't share food.
asking for like a bite or to try, like just to see
Oh.
what like it. We've gotten in so many fights about that. Now we've been together for a long time. That was more towards the beginning. Now we've been together for so long that he's kind of like trained up. He won't do half and half with me,
But
but
he'll
he'll
at least
usually
let you
give me a
have
bite.
some.
He'll
Yeah,
give me a bite.
that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Well, now we know. It's good to know about you. So when we go out to eat, yeah, I'm down. Like I'm so down to share. I love eating like that because like I even my stepdad's a foodie and he does that too. Like when we go out to eat, he's always like, just get whatever you want. Like we could get whatever appetizers we want, whatever sides we want. If we want dessert, like just whatever you want, just whatever. I don't give a fuck. The only
Yeah.
thing is like my parents are Mormon, so they told my brothers, they're like, if you want alcohol, you have to put it on a separate check and pay for it yourself. So it's
Oh
like
yeah.
we could still drink in front of them too when we're out to eat, you know, but we have to pay for it, which is fine. That's
Yeah.
respect. It's like they're paying hella on
Yeah.
our food because Mike knows
For
that
sure.
Max and I are foodies, and Max and I like to eat, and we like to order a lot of stuff. But yeah, I don't know. That
Yeah, I
fool
miss
needs to
those
learn how to
days.
eat what you order. He'll eat everything, he'll order everything, but he'll take like a bite of a little bit here and there. He needs to learn how to coordinate with people. So it's like we could all order because him and I are kind of like that. Like he'll eat, but won't eat all of it. So it's like, let's coordinate so we could all share everything and it will all get eaten,
Right.
you know? But we haven't figured that part out yet after 18 years.
Oh, usually we'll all take like a bite of it, and then everyone decides like what they like and what they don't, and then whoever like likes what gets the rest of whatever, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah, that's
like
cool. Yeah, that's cool. Because that right there is why I'm afraid to try new things at a restaurant. Like, what if I don't like it? And then
yeah,
that's a cool system. So it's like you could still sample and then decide, ooh, I love that, or oh, that's, you know, yeah, I like that. That's a cool system.
We also wanted to let you guys know that if you have any questions about what we talk about, if there's anything that you want to know about the universe, email us at the deep end podcast 2024 at gmail.com.
yeah, totally. We'll do our best to answer your questions, and it'll be fun. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for tuning in, listening to our podcast, and following us into the depths of the subconscious and the unknown.
Into the depths of your soul.
Come find me and book a reading on www.mutablemystic.com. Find me on Facebook at Mutable Mystic. You can find me on Instagram at mutable_mystic. Also, if you'd like to check out any of my music, you can find me on SoundCloud /stay, STE_music.
And you can find me on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook under Quantum Healing with Steph Green, and book your own past life regression session, or you can send me a message on Facebook and we could talk about what you have in mind. And don't forget to like, follow, and share the Deep End Podcast on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. Thanks for tuning in today.
Hell, we can bend your mind next time. Always remember to ground your feet in the dirt and enjoy life with those gratitude glasses on. Pass this on. The deep end. The deep end. Welcome to the deep end.
The Deep End.
The deep end, bro.
Yeah, brah, deep end.
Deep man.
Deep End. The Deep End.